In this session, we are analyzing management. Now, we have already learned in previous section about the functions, the features, or the levels, lot of things about a management. Now, if we are looking at the nature of management, often we can see management is similar to number of other activities also, or number of other areas also. So, in this session we will be analyzing about the management regarding its nature. We are trying to see whether management can be called as an art. Management has the nature of an art, whether management is having the nature of a profession and management is having the nature of science, or whether management can be called as an art or management can be called as a science, management can be called as a profession, whether the nature of management is fulfilling the criteria of these activities. So, this session we are going to learn about the nature of management. When we are studying about nature of management, we are basically discussing whether management is fulfilling the nature of art, the nature of science, or nature of profession, whether they are having some connection with this, whether management characteristics or the characteristics of these activities have similarity with management or can be called as equal to management. So, in this first one we are going to see is that whether management can be called as an art. An activity to be called as an art, there are there are certain basic things which has to be there, or requirements for an activity to be called as an art is, one is existence of theoretical knowledge. When we are talking about theoretical knowledge, there are some basic principles. There are basic principles which are applicable for the performance of that particular activity. Regarding dance, regarding songs, or regarding singing, there are certain basic principles, and it is on the basis of that basic principles this particular activity is being performed. So, first criteria for an activity to be called as an art is that there must be an existing theoretical knowledge, there must be theory for that, performance of that activity must be based on a theory. It has been derived by experts. Second one is that the use of this theory must be personalized, or second criteria is personalized application. We have a number of artists who are singing, who is dancing, but each person differs from another, because they are applying this theoretical knowledge in their own way. That means two speakers or two actors or two dancers never do the thing in the same manner, but basic principle they are following will be same, but the way of presenting it, the way of doing it will be different, because they are applying it in their personal way. There is a personalized application. That is another requirement for an activity to be called as an art. Third requirement for an activity to be called as an art is it must be based on practice and creativity. Now, there must be creativity, something each artist or a person who is practicing an art, person is doing an art, must put in their ideas, their new thoughts based on the theory which is existing. They can put in their own experiments. On that basis, they can present it in a new and better method. So, there is a creativity. They will be practicing practicing it. They will be continuously using this theory, continuously going behind this theory, and they will try to put this one in a different manner in comparison with other artists regarding the notes or regarding the steps of dances. All these things they can bring in something new. That is what based on practice and creativity. An art must have a theory, a theoretical knowledge must be there. Each person has to apply it in their, or each person applies it in their manner, or these theories being applied, or the application of this theory is different from one person to another. Another thing is that based on it is based on practice and creativity. Continuous practice is required for perfection of this one, and they put in something new. The creativity factor or creative practice is basis of basis of better performance of an art. So, to be art form, these criteria are to be fulfilled. Now, coming on to business, we can see, we will try to analyze with these 3 points whether business is fulfilling this criteria. First one they are saying is that there must be existence of theoretical knowledge. Now, if we are looking at business, if we are looking at management, a successful manager always follows the literatures, or experts have formed theories, and these theories are being used. Day to day job is being managed on study, observation and experience, and we can say that the manager follows the theory which is being framed by experts from their observation, from their ideas, from their analysis. There is a theory existing, and a manager always follows these theories for handling their day-to-day activities. So, first and foremost criteria, existence of theoretical knowledge. Of course, there is theoretical knowledge for management too. There is lot of literature available in marketing, finance, human resources, all the areas of management. There is literature available, and a manager is using this literature to handle their day-to-day requirements. So, first criteria can be fulfilled or is fulfilled. Second criteria is personalized application. Now, a good manager always use this theory, but applies it in such a manner to handle a given situation. Each manager uses this theory in their own way to handle a situation which is in front of them, which they have to confront with. So, we can see that this application of scientific methods is used in an issue, is used in a particular situation by each manager, and it differs from different manager, one manager to another. So, application, there is personalized application of theory, and this application can be different from one manager and another manager. So, we can say that personalized application, the criteria of personalized application is also fulfilled in management. The last one is based on practice and creativity. A good manager always uses this basic principles, this basic ideas in their own way. In a way they can get what they are expecting to have, in such a way to attain the objectives of the management, to get things in track in a way they expect it to happen. So, this practice continuously, this manager is using, or manager is using different situations, or they are continuously using it, and they can get an idea, their wisdom, their wisdom increases, and creativity, new ideas, the combination of ideas or something new is being brought in. So, this practice and creativity is being used by managers too. So, that criteria is also fulfilled. So, in simple words we can say that management can be called as an art because it satisfies all the requirements of an art. So, the first nature, that is art, is fulfilled by management. Second one is science, whether management is a science. Now, art, again science also have some basic points or basic criteria. And a systematized body of knowledge. It is a body of knowledge where things are done one after the other, or we can say that there is a cause and effect relationship. The principles, the idea of science can be explained with the cause and effect relationship. So, it is a systematized body of knowledge. It is a body of knowledge which has a systematic way of doing things, and it can be explained or cause and effect relationship can be explained in science. That is one criteria. Second one is it is based on experimentation. This principles in science is being practiced or is being tried, it's been tested a number of times. Repeated experimentation is being done, and of course you have to keep in mind with in controlled conditions. And after experimentation, after looking at the result, they have reached at a conclusion. This is the thing, this is the principle which has been followed. So, the principles are based on experimentation. Repetitive performance of these activities are done in control situation, and they have reached at a conclusion that this is the result out of it. Third one is universal validity. Universal validity means if a particular thing is being done, it will have the same result in India as well as in America as well as in Europe. Everywhere the same result we will get. If in this particular situation, if this particular activity is being done, this will be the effect. This is the cause and this will be the effect. The same, it will be the same everywhere. Universal applicability. Now, if we are comparing it with management, first condition is systematized body of knowledge. We can say that management is also systematized body of knowledge. It is talking about principles which are to be followed, which are derived out of derived out of wisdom of persons who have done it, or it has its own theoretical basis there. So, it is also a systematized body of knowledge. But one more thing you have to keep in mind is that it is not just concerned with a particular activity, but for explaining many things we are taking ideas from other topics, other subjects also. That also we have to keep in mind. Other disciplines are also considered. Second one is it is based on experimentation. It is based on experimentation. Now, principles of management are also based on experimentation. It is formed after repetitive performance. But there is a problem with that. There is something called a human factor, or it is concerned with this experimentations. This repetitive performance are done with human factor, or it is connected with human behavior, and the response, the result differs from human being, because all the human beings are not the same, their thoughts are not the same, their performance is not the same. So, we cannot get the exact result everywhere. We cannot get the exact result everywhere, or we cannot accurately predict the results. Whereas in science, if two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen is combined, it will give water, but it will not happen in case of a human being, because human being differs, human thoughts differs, human behavior differs. So, we cannot call management as an exact science. It is an inexact science, because we cannot reach at correct conclusions. It can vary as it is dealing with human behavior. So, that criteria is not fully fulfilled, it is partly fulfilled. And what to say, the third one, universal validity, as what to say, principles, because of the reason we have said in the second criteria, we cannot say that universal validity is there. It will not be the same. It will not be the same. It may not give the application and the use is not the very same everywhere. It has to be modified. It has to be modified in different situations. We cannot have the same results, same way of applying of these principles everywhere around the world, everywhere. So, they have to be modified when it is required. So, we cannot say that it is having universal validity. Because of this reason, management cannot be called as an complete science, but it can be called as an inexact science, or management is called soft science, because of the reason that it is not fully fulfilling the criteria of a science. Management has to be said or can be said only as a soft science. So, art, it can be called as an art. Science, it is a soft science or inexact science, as it is not fully fulfilling the requirements or criteria of science. And the last one is profession. Profession, for profession, the criteria for an activity to be called a profession is well-defined body of knowledge. There must be theory. Again, there must be theory which is based on what to say, which can be acquired through instruction. Restricted entry. Every person is not given entry. It must be given entry to an examination, or what to say, or acquiring an educational degree. Professional association, a common body is there controlling the members and giving the idea regarding their activities. Ethical code of conduct. Every members of this professional association is given a common rules of action, and they have to follow it. So, ethical code of conduct is there, and service motive. Basically, all the profession is giving personalized service to the client. Now, coming on to management, we are trying to see well-defined body of knowledge. Well-defined body of knowledge, there is theoretical base. It can be acquired through instruction. Management also can be, it's a well-defined body of knowledge. It can be received by instruction. That condition is fulfilled. Restricted entry. Management, for becoming a manager, they need not have a particular degree, or they need not pass a particular examination. If they have managerial skills, they can become manager. No restriction is there regarding anyone to become a manager. So, that criteria is not matching. The third one is professional association. Of course, there are lot of associations like All India Management Association and all. There are a lot of associations for management, but the participation membership for persons or for managers, a person to become a manager, the membership of this one is not compulsory. So, we cannot call it as a, it can be called as a professional association, but management does not require a professional association, or is not having a professional association where all the managers have to be members of it. As there is no professional association, there is no common rules of action. Code of conduct, ethical code of conduct is there, is not there for managers. managers can act according to their wisdom, their practice, their experience. And last one is service motive. Management is aimed at achieving the goals of organization. It can be earning profit, it can be providing better service, whatever be. Service is not the basic aim. Profit maximization is basic aim of a business, and if you go to service industry, providing better service is it is not basically focusing on service motive. So it is not fulfilling that criteria also. So in simple words, we can say that as majority of criteria of a profession is not fulfilled by management, management cannot be called a profession. So management can be called as an art. Management is a soft science, and management is not a profession. These are the nature of management, where we try to compare it with other activities.